woman has to have a flask which is filled with hot water and a white towel that is always in close proximity. So that after you are done with the deed that has been anointed, the woman has to give you the villages. How she gives you the villages? By getting that hot water, put it in like a small bucket, and it's warm. Then she starts rubbing on you. Webale sebo, webale tata, yonko zerero, you know. Today we are going to talk about masculinity, and we would like to say thank you for joining us on today's episode of the Solid Point. And as we dissect this masculinity and everything about masculinity, I want you to understand, we are all men here, we have feelings. What is masculinity to you? What is a man?
Thank you. Well, when I look at masculinity, I look at a man being naturally a problem solver. So I feel that the masculinity should be judged on your ability and your potential and your ability to solve issues. Yeah.
So that's what makes you a real man, if you can solve a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, Abbey.
So masculinity, according to what I've observed, is someone who is a head, who is a head of a home, or preparing to be one. Even when you're young and you show signs of being a better man or responsibility, etc., your masculinity level is at a point, and that's why some women will be like, be a man if you're this kind of person who doesn't do something.
There's a guy who told me, be the man you are. I said, but I'm a man already. What I did?
You're not being the man.
So this means it all comes down to social norms for your particular point.
It is your level of responsibility that defines your level of masculinity.
So if I am not, if my responsibilities are few, then I'm not a man.
You're a man, but your masculinity level is low.
Oh, you are thinking masculinity. Ivo, what is masculinity?
I love how Abby brought it out. Yeah, there are actually levels now in masculinity, which was something I didn't know.
So we have to have them critical, high, low, medium. How are we organized?
I actually used to think, you know, as long as you're a man, you qualify to
be masculine.
Exactly. But hearing from Abby's point of,
yes,
you know,
yes,
it really gets me to think a lot, like what really men have to go through to make yourself qualified to be a man.
So let me ask you.
Yeah.
Are you a man?
I'm a man.
What makes you a man?
No, that's why Abby has now confused with them all. Because now he has brought levels.
Hey.
Meaning, if I cannot, let's say, if basically, because to me, I think all this masculinity thing comes in like expressing it out there, and the people who always love to express ourselves to are usually women. So
So we do the women part of it.
No,
we're still on the levels.
We're still on the levels.
This is level one.
Level one.
Per se. So now I'm looking at if Abby is having this submission of masculinity as levels now, I'm looking at those men that really cannot provide, because we all provide differently. Yeah, we all meet we all meet the demands of life differently. But now, if there's already something that is set, that bro, this masculinity thing, not every man is supposed to be running around with it. Yeah, there are actually levels. If you cannot provide, let's say, top of the list that a man is supposed to provide, I think people is a combination.
So you are not a man.
It's like you're not a man.
So that's why they become women.
No. If you observe the world so well, you'll see that everyone there are classes. There are those people that are so rich, the average, and then those that are poor.
Are poor.
So in all those classes, it is so obvious when you go to the village. You see that however poor people are, they are eating, they have shelter, and they are being protected. So even the person who is giving the cheapest food is a man. Even the person who is giving the fakest house, as long as it's shelter, he's a man. So his level of masculinity may even be higher than you has the money, and is not.
Does the man mean that I come into the home and the children run away? Daddy has said. Even the wife becomes scared. Do this. Does that give you a sense of masculinity? Or if I may bring it out in this way, when you talk about money, power, and respect, does that feed who a man is? Because everyone here is talking about respect at some point. Responsibilities, money. We're talking about relationships, society, how society convicts and looks at you. Does money, power, and respect fall into a man? Do they work together? What do you think? If you have a cool car, does that make you a very, very big man?
No. But I think a combination of all the three, money, power, and respect.
How do we show power as men? Putin?
Not really. I think power is having influence. How do you influence certain things? Having that sort of influence, that's the power.
Okay.
But of course, the world we live in, money is a big fact of life. So it has to be there. Respect, we are tending to throw it out of the window, but it is very important.
Because of the women empowerment thing that's going around.
No, but even
because when you think about it, respect comes from submission to a man. I think that's another topic.
But you see, now I think then emotional intelligence comes in, because there is too much power in letting. For instance, you brought that example of women. There is too much power in a man in letting a woman take the day in an argument, even so when you know it is not right, but. You let her take the day. So there's too much power in that.
Men are very compassionate. We are loving.
We should
let
be.
The women quarrel, then we look at them and say, it's okay.
At the end of it all, you know who's going to win. We know who the powerful person is.
So if you have money, you have respect, and you have power, you're a man.
But in Loki, society has made it look like once you have money, you have power already. You get the respect forcefully. Yes, so
which is not the case, by the way.
Why?
You demand the respect.
You have to demand for the respect.
No. Sometimes people feel like without respecting you, they won't get the bread that you provide. So obviously you have the money, so which means you have the power, and then the respect will come automatically because they are relying on you.
So you mean men we go through all these things and we don't know? Newenkola kumibiriza ngamanyizi genda kulira omuntu omugati alikamba yes tata but once you be broke of which we have studied and we have it's a sad note that we have some friends who maybe don't have jobs right now and they are going through a trying time, and since we are talking about these men and how they are defined, power, respect and money, does that mean that we have to talk about how their relationships are diminishing within their fellow men? Why can't we talk to each other about this kind of thing? I mean, I have the money or I don't have the money. Why can't I come to you and tell you, oh, even so, what is happening mostly is the relationships that we are in. All right? Why can't we men open up to fellow men for that particular matter?
You see, Brian, according to that thing, we men were built to solve.
Women?
Men.
We are built to solve.
We are built to solve.
It falls under which category? Respect?
No, regardless, there's nothing. Even if you talk about power, you talk about respect or what, but as a man, you're supposed to come with solutions in whatever. So, if we're now really talking about, the level of masculinity, we need to first of all start seeing. Even if, because you cannot say someone is rich, someone is poor, you cannot solve this problem or what. You see, problems also, to me, I believe problems come to people depending on on the level you are at. The problem that a rich man faces, all those people would say, those people who are driving.
There's deals.
Exactly.
His problems are different.
Exactly.
He's chasing a contract.
Exactly.
Then a younger man like me from Mukaba and from Obanara.
You're also chasing a different. You're chasing a different. Your problem is different. But for as long as you can solve the problem, to me, for as long as you can solve the problem.
So these are the silent.
And because of that, you really, me walking to you to help you solve my problem, it makes me really not feel like I'm a man enough. So at the end of it all, I need to compose myself and face the issue and solve it. And when I solve it, most times you have solved issues before. I believe all of us here, we have solved issues before. I'm very sure there's that pride that really comes in you after solving something. You'll be like, man,
yeah, I'm
dusted. You get it?
Yeah.
So because of that, we have it at the back of our mind as men. It makes us really not to run everywhere. You first sit as a man, because before even coming to you, you're dealing with something.
But that has increased mental capacities in the men. Now we are having more mental drives, mental health drives, more than we have seen in the past.
To me, if you really put the statistics right, you will find out that most of the what? I've forgotten it.
But what I'm saying is, when you look at I normally joke and talk with my colleagues at work, all right?
Yeah.
And then we are talking about the girl child and the boy child. And I'm thinking, what do we have to do for the boy child?
So replying back to the other question that you asked, why is it the level of mental breakdown is so high nowadays among men? I think, to me, the submission that I'm going to give about that, this thing of women emancipation has really brought a lot of mess.
You are very passionate when you are talking.
No, because I feel it. Because I feel it.
Hey,
this thing of women emancipation.
Somehow.
I've not yet reached that level. Yes. But if I reach there, I know what really men are facing. The thing of women emancipation has really degraded down what men feel like.
A role of a man in the society.
Exactly. Because you're going to be there, you're thinking you're a man, and man, the woman is going to come and tell you, man, I can't do this on my own.
No, maybe you
as a man, you're not going to perceive that so well. Your pride, men have pride.
Yeah, we have, they call it the ego.
Exactly.
The egocentric men. Yeah. Now they call us, there's something that's moving on social media. They call us what? There's something they call us these days. Narcissists.
Narcissists.
I don't understand. What is a narcissist?
A narcissist, you see, a narcissist medically. A narcissist is someone who you can never take down in whatever.
Yeah. So now we are those narcissists.
That is what we are. Because of the women emancipation that I'm bringing. Because you tell a woman that me, I'm from North, yeah, and back in the North, if a lady is bringing for me anything, she's supposed to kneel down, yeah.
Not in the Baganda, I did not know this.
Also in the North.
Oh.
Also it's in the North.
Yeah.
But now, you're going to find out that now, the ladies that we have now.
But they have studied, bro.
Of course, that is why we're having a lot of mental breakdown as men.
So Ivan's problem is,
they don't need
the ladies now have egos.
So because my ego is being played with so much, that's not what makes the thing of man. Yeah? You'll be dealing with a lot of disappointment, but you cannot express them out. So if you cannot express something out, definitely.
So how would you deal? How would you tell our audience? How would you tell the young boy child out there how to deal with the frustrations that you've gone through?
The only thing I'm going to tell the men out there is, please, man, don't enter marriage.
I think we first that's what do you want to say? Abbey, what's up? Yeah.
Let him first tell us why.
Why?
They shouldn't enter marriage.
Because why you shouldn't
is it marriage or relationships? Now we have escalated. Okay, please proceed.
To me, I'm going to put the headline as marriage, because relationships you can decide to jump out of it anytime. Yeah, but now if you bring in marriage, to me, I believe it's a permanent kind of thing. Yeah, you're just supposed to live with for as long as you're living. Yeah. But now,
until death do you part.
That is what they say. But now we're in a generation where, man,
but the
thing is dead.
But they are saying that women are good companions. Women develop you. Women will give you love. Women are a reason as to why men live longer with the right love. Why are you telling people not to get married, Abbey? What do you think about this? What are the silent things that men are going through, and what would you advise the young children, or sorry to say children, but the younger men who are coming up into your footsteps, who are looking up to you? What do you think they could do properly or correctly?
I think the easiest thing, okay, not the easiest, but the best thing I can say is you take life at the pace it is at.
How do you know it is at that pace? Because we were there at some point.
Because
the life was too fast. Every time me and this young man would be somewhere seated, life was too fast.
So when you feel it fast, that is when you know that you're pushing too hard.
But now, how do I know?
When you feel it too fast, when you feel the pressure too much, that's when you know.
Which pressure is this?
Let me give an example.
Yeah.
At this age we are at, let me give an example of ladies. At this age we are at, many ladies are getting married. So they are.
Which stage are we at?
My age,
20.
23.
Oh, sorry, me, I'm 55, so I was wrong.
So people are getting married,
Yeah.
and then you'll find a girl with her boyfriend who can't afford a kuchala, feeling like the guy isn't doing enough because the guy because
But
he's
the ladies, we are told they have other people who are providing for the kuchara. The ladies have
Even get kuchalo on loan.
yeah, they even get kuchara on loan. And on top of that, the lady has a man who is a Sudani who is giving her money to facilitate the relationship on a silent basis. So you find that we are told, for us who are born in 1970, we are told the generation, the Gen Zs are very, very good at planning this kind of thing. She can have like three men who know that there is one main guy, may her soul rest in peace. But we see what happened recently which we may not discuss. That means I know. But again, the women these days, they kuchanga us. Imagine being in a cell with that young man also. Anyway, I'm sure we shall not discuss this topic, but let us proceed.
Yeah?
So for me, when it comes to men not opening up, I think it is something that we should declare and say it is okay not to be okay. Where you can go to men platforms, talk about it, and instead of dying with whatever situation you're dying.
How many people have you found in many platforms?
We are here.
Are you-
We are the
are
first platform already today. We can. But there are few. Anyway, there are few. What is your take? What is your take on this particular?
Well, Ivan told our viewers not to get married. I don't think the problem is about getting married, but we should be very careful. Even the Bible says it. 1 Corinthians chapter 7.
There's a Bible verse now.
I think it's verse 27, 28
29.
to 29.
Yeah,
It says,
maybe they
it's
can
okay.
research.
It's okay to be single. Yeah. But when you're getting married, be prepared to suffer.
Suffer.
And that's
Wow.
those are the vows that we make anyway. For better, for worse. So there's a Bible verse. Yeah, so we the problem is not getting married, but we should get married when we are ready, when we are prepared to suffer.
So even
So
God
does
owns
this
us.
define the kind of
That
relationships
is
we
in the
make?
Bible.
Does
But
this define the kind of relationships a man makes? Because we've talked about being masculine, we've dissected it to money, respect, and power. We've talked about us not being able to relate with each other. Does this affect the relationships we make with our spouses? Now that we've talked about marriage and relationships, a man who has been left, or a man who is from a single raised family, either both by a male or a father alone or a mother alone, does that have an impact on the relationships you make, and when you grow up, does that have an impact? What do you think?
I think that's to Abbey, right?
Because you see, already we are struggling.
Abbey has talked so less.
Already on this discussion, we're already struggling to open up as men.
Yes.
You're struggling. I'm
We
not
are struggling.
I'm not struggling.
Because okay, now let me say this: a man is defined and shaped by the scars that he has on his body. He has a definition for each scar, and the man's scar never goes away.
Okay, what of a girl? How is a
For
girl
the girl,
defined?
a girl's scar. Today she will break up with you in terms of the relationship. There is another man already in the inbox who has been saying good morning, hello, hey, hello, hi.
The last 1 year.
Emojis for last 1 year. She will call him, that man will be very happy. 500k down on the table. She'll be like, oh, you love me more than the other man. You treat me nicely. It is a loop. It's a cycle. Then she goes to the other man answers, she goes to this one. Yet, for us men, now we learn. We take a lesson. I will say, this girl did this, and this. When I enter into another relationship, it will be a lesson I learned, either to improve or to see those red signs. These ladies don't see the red signs. The moment you give them flowers, oh, he's caring, you know. So, do our relationships define us as men? Is that why we cannot come? And why? Actually, let me ask this question. Why is it easy for women to talk about their men? But how come me, I cannot come to him and say, oh, today has been a very wonderful topic. We are talking about men. We are struggling to also ourselves talk about our issues. Let us know on all our social media. We want to understand what men can do to have a long life, to have a happy life, a happy marriage, a happy relationship, even with ourselves.
But there's no happy marriage. Marriage is dead already.
Marriage is not
Marriage is dead already in this generation.
This will be a next topic. Let's get you back.
God already owned us.
Let's get you back. Men. Today we are talking about men on the solid point. I don't know, have we watched that series called Many Men? Many Men.
I know the song.
Well, that was a song of
I know the song of 50 Cent.
But before you can do that, let's introduce ourselves. Let's introduce ourselves. Starting from myself, Brian.
The cost.
I love you guys. Make sure you keep tuning in.
Hey you, I'm Joseph, known as Kuchi. I'm very happy to be here.
But Kuchi, anyway, let's stop there.
DJ Kuchi.
Hello, I'm Abbey Tumusiime. Yes.
The famous Abbey Tumusiime. Yo, this is Ivan Sele.
Seller Gadgets.
Ever here with you.
Oh, nice. We all have professions that we are doing, and we like to bring this topic to you and bring the solid point to you, because this is where the truth comes out from the man's heart and from the people that we do actually host. And today we are simply talking about men, and we have dissected the topic to a point of relationships, because we know Solomon, was it Solomon and Sheba? They cut off the man. The man went and said his secret. After he told his secret, they cut off his head. The man who was the strongest man in the Bible finally was the weakest, isn't it?
I'm wondering why today there are a lot of Bible verses, but anyways.
But you remember also, God created the world.
But
He saw everything was okay and he put man. Everything was okay. And he put what?
The woman.
After God telling us not to feed from a certain tree,
In the middle.
we did not eat from that tree. Even when the woman came and said, eat from that tree, we told the woman,
No.
but we finally. So, are women our weakness? What is your story? What has been your weakest point with the woman?
they are our drug.
What's the weakest point with the woman? You have been in when you are young, vibing. What was your weakest point?
Well, I can't pinpoint out one. that's such a.
Wow.
What happened? you are with a woman, and this brings us to how we struggle to open up. You see, now you are with a woman at this point.
But I think a man really, you should be able either to solve the problem or walk away without being scratched. I think that defines a man, and you would really be a weak man if you
Failed the boy.
if you fail.
If you didn't walk away, or if you walked away when you were scratched.
Because if you're going to walk away when you're scratched, then you find a way of solving that problem. Yeah, but
So were you scratched?
no, I've never. I
Maybe
maybe once.
I think there was something, yeah.
I think it happened, but
What
not that much.
How
No,
did you deal with it as a man, since you could not open up and talk to your fellow men? The time you were scratched and you failed to walk away as a man, and you decided to be in the relationship.
I walked away.
after you were scratched.
With a scratch.
Yeah. How did you deal with it? How did you deal with it? How did you deal with that scratch?
You just deal with it, man. As a man, you just have to find a way to deal with your
alcohol,
hassles.
do you take
No.
But you cannot just
I
tell
don't
him. You
think-
cannot just, Kuchi, I believe you cannot just tell a man to deal with it without really showing to him how to deal
No.
with it.
God designed us in a way that
No, that is why we have
whatever
a lot of mental
happens, there's
breakdown.
always a solution. It just comes to you.
So you it happens to you, you deal with it and you move on. But
Yes,
women,
it
how
happens.
are women dealing with this? Because women, first of all, their bodies are already prone to stress. They are going through that monthly something.
I think
They are
men.
used to talking. For us to just be there and say,
I think men are designed to shield men's problems and also their women's, like to take on the beating of those problems. Yeah.
I'm not going to take on you. What do you
I know
mean?
you realize that is where the mental breakdown is all coming from, and it's basically facing the man.
And as a man, at all times,
I'm shocked.
personally, I think as a man, at all times, you have to expect the worst. Like when the worst happens, you have to be prepared for it.
Why
But
can't I be
Kuchi,
there and expect
Kuchi.
the best?
Kuchi, let's be honest here, Abbey, Kuchi, Brayo. Is there any single day anyone ever sat you down?
Let Abby tell you. Let Abby say.
I first wanted to ask them,
Yeah.
even with you, is there any single day that they have told you that, you know what, as a man, yeah, like your father sat you down, or anyone that you would listen to, ever sat you down and you're like, my son, or my boy, this world that you're in, a woman is going to do this to you. Because that gets me to this point of why is it marriage is something that is so much being sold out there as something that is so prestigious.
I want to add a question or two to what you have said. You see, for women, they are normally taken into a session. You see, to the same.
Yes.
They tell you the do's and don'ts. I like the command
They
of
still
the
do
towel.
it.
Yeah?
They still do it.
They still do it. They even give you a towel, a white towel. They tell you how to practice. I don't know how the flask of hot water is always under the bed.
Flask of
Have you?
Up to now.
Not that I have done it, but I hear that the Baganda women have.
It's my first time hearing about it.
No,
Even
it's
me,
your
it's my
first
first
time.
time.
You have not heard of anyway.
No, what's the use of that?
Generation.
No, don't say
The
the
flask-
generation. You can teach
The
us.
flask. The flask. A woman normally has to have I'm told. This is.
We're quoting you right.
Yes, if a woman has to have a flask, which is filled with hot water, and a white towel that is always in close proximity, so that after you are done with the deed that has been anointed, the woman has to give you the villages. How she gives you the villages? By getting that hot water, put it in like a small bucket, and it's warm. Then she starts rubbing on you. Webale sebo, webale tata, yonko zerero, you know. Yes. You are not yet gotten that one. Now you have gotten it. None of us here, you mean we have not had an experience with the towel.
You have seen days, eh?
No, not to me, but I'm just saying.
Feel free to open up.
No, not to me. So is that why you are very angry about marriage?
No, I'm not angry. I'm just telling you the reality.
And is it why not women are so open and the men are not open? Because women are open. They even talk about their sexual fantasies with their fellow women. But for me, I cannot come with a man in the bar and I say, "Omwana namukuteba nanga na yeti chamu nimedi." No. We always say, "Nakakubye kakubye n'endulu." Nekatugano kaduka. I put it on the side. Why don't men open up in relationships?
What did you put on this?
I don't know what.
That is what he's telling people.
I think that is going to push me to ask Abby something.
Yes.
Okay.
Abby, is there any single day, because I believe your generation and my generation are the same, is there any single day that anyone from the person that you would listen to, is there any of that person who has ever put you down to take you through this life?
Not directly, but I would say my mom is the kind of person who talks about things according to the age you are. So mpola you keep getting there.
You don't get shocked.
She used to, at first when we were young, she used to say girls are bad people. Girls are very bad people, they'll give you AIDS. So one time when she finds out that I'm in a relationship at school, high school.
How did she find out? You told her?
No.
Teacher told her.
So she finds out and then she tells me, you should talk to me like your friend. Because now she knows this guy has grown up and I can't keep caning him because he's admiring a woman. You know, the generation is spoiled. You cane someone for admiring a woman, then you admire a man. So I can't keep caning him for that. Now let me just try to talk to him on how to handle it. So she told me to always be open to her with my relationships.
So what did you tell her? The first time you kissed?
That's weird conversation.
You may.
It's like you never expect that one.
I thought maybe you were open. You told her, "Mommy, I'm going to kiss her this weekend."
Now
maybe she
knows those things are happening, obviously. But you cannot go and speak. It doesn't make sense.
As you see, it is very hard. Even girls opening up to their moms about maybe menstruation periods and all that.
You realize ladies are blessed that they have sengas, they have the aunties that take them through all these things.
But you see, they are blessed, but they are not having that discussion anymore with them. That discussion happened before BC.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's happening up now.
Before BC.
It's happening. The region is in now. No, trust me. In the tribe, don't quote me right. Don't quote me wrong, rather. But in the Baganda tribe, it's something that I've heard so much that thing still happens. But
the Muganda woman.
I've never.
But how can you confirm to us that what you are hearing is?
But they always talk about it even.
But I think those things are not effective anymore.
Yeah, with the emerging technology, and you know, I don't think someone should have a senga.
I have Elsa.
You can learn all those things.
You can go and buy Elsa from Elon Musk. They ship her here.
But then
you can even have an app.
No, but then
you can have an app.
You say
so we don't need
Brian, Abbey saying that there's technology, there's AI nowadays and all those kind of things that can solve all those problems. Trust me, all those technology things can never put characters in you. I believe solely that those days the Sengas were really so much implementing characters
and
personalities. But then this technology whole thing is going to take you through
I saw a pastor.
No. For you've heard of the thing of curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah.
The thing is that those days people didn't know much. People only knew what they had to know.
There was no information.
Someone knows what they are supposed to know only. But right now, you'll find a P7 child, P6, P5. They know exactly how to have sex. They even know the foreplay.
Women emancipation.
Yes. Things are so bad.
By the way, you're right. Those days, I remember I used to write the
poems.
The poem, yeah, you know that one. I write cheats. And then I had to pay 700 shillings to take it to the administration block, who takes it to post office. Then the post office, he takes it. I used to write to a girl, I think she was in what? Gayaza na Magunga. Then they had to take it there. Then she had to reply. By the time I got the reply, I was in
holidays.
That was P6.
We can abstain from the class I was in. We can abstain from that class. But you see,
40 years ago.
Now, all you need to do is just send a dot, a hi, an emoji, and someone has received it instantly.
Yes.
How is this affecting men? Because we don't want to lose the touch of men. Have we gone to more of online dating because the physical dating has failed us men? Because physically, you will find a woman who has so many needs. And you know, there are these normal videos, they put 99 problems, then the woman has one problem, then she becomes yours, then you get 1,000 problems. I downloaded Instagram recently. I've been seeing
I think... Let me give this one first.
What? No, open up!
No. Okay.
Hey.
Well,
Hey.
The thing is that the technology hasn't spoiled anything. Internet dating or what? Because deep down I feel it is much better, faster and easier to get to learn someone on the internet because you can actually plan to meet up and what, other than the mails you're talking about.
Yeah.
If I write to you and then it takes me 2 weeks to know how you are 2 weeks ago, how slow is that relationship? That is worse. So I think the
How
emerging
slow?
technology is much
Those
better.
relationships worked.
Maybe this.
They worked because they never had problems.
But now a girl who puts herself on the status, 10,000
So what has
men
brought
have
the
seen her.
problems? What has brought
What
the
has
problems?
brought those
No,
problems?
okay. What I'm trying to say is they worked because the problems weren't being seen, weren't being put out there.
What do you mean?
Right now, the problems are there
Bro.
because the communication is faster. Someone needs money and will be like, okay, I need some 50,000.
No, bro.
And that is already a problem to you.
Your wife was your wife. People to see her to climb 3 mountains to get to her.
Now they just send
Now
hi.
they just see her on status. She even puts these filters. Then they send even in the message, hi. Then she says, then you even tell her, you look gorgeous. Oh, thank you. Then you put kisses.
That is her character. Your wife is cheating on you. That is your problem.
No!
People in stable relationship.
Which is the truth, by the
But
way.
Yes.
a relationship, I think, is a cycle from meeting, saying hi, getting involved, and also breaking up.
Breaking up is a must now.
Now,
The end is
before,
there.
The end result.
The end is there.
The end result
Okay,
is like
It can either be death or
yeah,
death.
it's breaking
Yeah.
up either by
Or
death or
normally say
yeah.
most of the
But now,
people,
before,
the convicts, you normally say most
say
of the
hi.
convicts are in Ruzira. Most of them are committing crime and passion and love crimes. People in
Yeah.
Ruzira.
it's either love or money.
How?
Most crimes,
Eh.
and most of them are still out on adultery
On adultery.
No, like
charges. But
Okay,
okay.
another is a crime.
Yes, even God told you that do not look. For me, that's why when I look, I don't turn behind.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I never turn behind. I can look because you are in front of me. But I will not turn behind like this.
But okay, when you look at
But like,
the rates, you just look at murder. Someone is going to kill either for money, stealing what or deals, or for love.
and all those are men in jail.
Either killing, even women, either killing the partner or killing the one they suspect to be sleeping with the partner.
So the suspect can die in this movie. And the suspect is most often a man. So why don't we open up? Why don't we talk as men? Why are we hiding and putting ourselves behind that frame? Does that define the respect the man
I think there is fear of shame, because as a man, you're supposed to be seen as a solver.
But okay,
Yeah.
fine. Just
So you just don't want to admit failure.
But just to say something,
Yeah.
Abbey, the girls you have dated, that you have told us that you dated a girl,
And the mom got to know about
and the mom got to know about it. It was supposed to be like this. It was supposed to be like this. The girl wants a man who is masculine
Isaac.
and at the same time who can be very vulnerable to you. You get what I mean? A woman wants you to love her and be vulnerable to her. The moment you are not vulnerable to a woman, she look at you as something different. Because women now, they are looking at it, it's very sexy. The man came last night home, he was crying, he was screaming. Yeah, women like that stuff these days. They want you to cry on their shoulder, yes.
You see, it's still the same reason as to why I don't know how women emancipation
You are so
escaped and
you are
entered
so
the
passionate
room.
about this.
No, like to me, I feel this is where the whole problem came from. I just don't know how it got itself into the room, but this is the biggest problem where all these challenges are coming from. Because you're talking of that point of, you come back home, you're crying, and your woman is looking at you as like, man, I think this man has lost it. He's not my man. But I'm very sure those days of our grandfathers, I'm sure. First of all, they would never be put in a situation of crying.
You are talking about money, bro. If a woman earns more than you,
Yeah.
are you still the man of the house?
I'm supposed to be the man of the house.
You are supposed.
I'm supposed to be the man of the house.
Suppose.
I'm
You are supposed. So,
But the thing of nowadays can never be me. Can never make me be the man of the house.
What would make you feel respected by a woman?
Man, respect itself. Respect. Someone just feels it.
You say don't do this, they don't. You feel like
Exactly. Like this. Women were supposed to be submissive. Naturally.
Where?
We are supposed to be submissive. Which is no more the thing nowadays.
Do you think we need another male counselor on the show?
I think the only thing that is going to happen is this generation is asked to first go. something has to happen.
Do women want equality?
But you see-
or special treatment?
You see,
They want equality.
No, they don't want equality.
They want inequality, equality.
They want
Inequality, I don't know English.
they want unequal equality.
Unequal equality. So they want to be on
Like
top.
they want it to look equal,
But it's not.
but it is not.
It can never be equal.
She has to be on top.
They want it,
It has
equal
to
at
favor.
the time when it favors them.
When it
Then
favors
doesn't
them,
favor the man, no, the man is supposed to do this.
The man you are. There's one who told me, you plan the man you are. I was like, what is it? For me, let me give you the money you plan.
but I think women emancipation shouldn't be blamed.
Why?
I think back then, when we think men were supposed to be this, women was not supposed to be this, I think women's rights were actually being stamped on.
What rights are these?
Of you are not allowed to eat chicken, you are not allowed to eat eggs.
When
Oh.
they eat chicken.
So I think it was wrong then. It gave us too much power. It looks like we really enjoyed it as men, but it was wrong.
Then the emancipation has turned out to be a problem.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then we need
if it
to
could
work
be
on-
controlled, if it could be controlled,
Everyone is talking about women.
because rights are rights, yes, but then if you want empowerment and equality, it means you should be ready. You should be ready to also provide.
Can
You
a man,
should be ready.
should a man under provision, should a man apologize to his woman?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What extent? To what extent should you do this? After you found her cheating, before you found her cheating,
At any level, if
At
you're in
any
wrong,
level.
you're supposed to say I'm sorry. It doesn't remove anything from you as a man.
so if you say so, why are you saying marriage is dead? Because what
You
kills
see,
marriages and
marriage is dead in this
Is it-
perspective, according to me. Now, we're all men in the house. That's what makes marriage dead. We're all men in the house.
You and the woman are
We're all the same. But now, this is where the problem comes from. Now, when it reaches a point where probably sharing bills, like Abbey picked it up.
Yeah.
If it comes to now sharing bills, bro, things shift.
You are the man now.
You're the man now. Most times,
Yeah, when it comes to eating food or cooking things,
we're
she's
supposed
the
to
one
be the
to
same.
be the one to cook. And
Time of coming back home, we're supposed to be the same.
And then for
yet,
sex,
looking for sex. Also nowadays, man, she's bold enough to tell you,
today I don't want.
today I don't want, and you have to say nothing as a man.
Are you
And yet,
serious?
yes. And yet those days,
And if you catch her, what happened?
those days of our grandfathers, man,
Yeah.
the woman is not supposed to sleep with cloth on. No, those days of our grandfathers, a woman is not supposed to sleep with her cloth on. You're supposed to be ready 24/7.
Yeah.
Anytime a man comes,
You come,
Is that universal or like
you come.
certain
Whether
girls?
you have a headache, you inhale.
Yes.
exactly.
You swallow.
But see, this day, those
But-
days
but
they
if-
also
if-
want it.
Just a moment. If you're a woman, would
I
that be
can never
fair?
be a woman, so you cannot give that question.
No,
you
yeah.
ask,
If would
You ask
Would it
if
be
I was a
fair?
woman.
would
it
you
be
be a
fair?
woman?
Would I?
Would you be a woman? Would it be fair for you to be put under?
To be a sex object.
Yeah.
I think I can respond to that.
I think I would love to
Scientifically,
if I was a woman, you can-
About-
We love a lot of
No,
sex.
let me also
So
try
as a woman-
to answer. If I feel that is how I'm contributing
to the relationship.
to the relationship,
I can be a sex
I can
object.
be.
Give me
Because
five.
if the man is doing everything, why
I'm
don't
giving
I
you
do
money,
sex?
no stress. When I come back, why are you telling me today I don't want? But
Exactly.
what do you mean?
And also removing
What?
removing that aside, biologically, scientifically, man, that road is supposed to be ready 24/7.
A woman is supposed to initiate.
I'm
I don't
telling
think
you,
a man is
the
supposed
science behind all the thing,
The road has to be
the
ready.
road has to be ready 24/7.
The road has to be ready.
There's no single way you're going to tell me today I'm not in the.
The ROC did not bring the truck to ready. But this has been a very decent and nice topic. I don't know, we'd like to give our hosts maybe a chance or two to talk about or ask a question or two to our viewers so that in case they need any more probing, we can have them put it on the chat. We shall come back and ask you questions. We shall start with Mr. Dr. Kuchi, DJ Kuchi. You are scared? You don't want to talk about the women?
Talk about women. What do you think?
Is the reason as to why the male masculinity or the boy child is going on the down low and the woman is rising?
One, we have failed. We have failed to step up. Women, as men, women,
putting us in prison.
women, women have caught up, and we have failed to adjust. We still think the rights we used to have in 8 years are the same rights we have now, but the world has changed. It was okay then to do adultery, to have how many, but those things are not okay now, because women now know that they can actually leave you if they are not happy with you.
And then they are in a polygamous relationship also. That's a
Or
polygamous relationship.
Or they can be like you, but what you want them to put up with you, we can't actually put up with them.
So what are you telling the men out there?
So I'm telling the men out there to
money,
step up, to hustle,
money,
and to earn the respect. Before it was maybe, I don't know, back then if it was respectful to have as many women. The more you have, the more respect you have. I don't know if that was the case, but right now it is not.
The more you bang, the more.
Even the more you bang, you may have respect in your male peers, but I don't think.
The female peers.
I don't think female or the world respect Baltazar more than the men seem to respect you. Is it called Baltazar?
I will respect the man.
You respect the
man. 400 videos. 400 videos. That's
so
man.
that respect is limited to the men, but as
Baltazar?
I know
The people you confused in their capacity.
Well done.
Shall not talk about it.
well
DJ
done,
Kuchi
Baltazar.
must be having a wife at home who's going to watch this.
Oh. So what is your take? What do you tell the men that are viewing this topic? We're talking about respect, power, money. We've dissected it to relationships. We've not gone on to religions, or if when you do actually get married, are your children supposed to take your name? Do they take your clan these days? What is it that defines a man? What takes your root as a man?
Well, I won't lie to you that is,
No, you are still a virgin.
that is really a pattern to follow, because there's a way the world is messed up. As long as you do your best and you pray to your God to give you a woman who won't mess you up.
This is very humble. Tugenda na kigenda. Kati gwe ofuna
Ekibi tekigenda.
omanyi kati ennaku zino bwe tugenda mu bbaala waliwo b'osangayo and they are not women but they are men but they are women.
What do you mean?
Anyway, we shall go with that.
They are more men than women, or
We shall discuss that on another topic. Mr. Sele Gadgets, tell us.
To me, honestly, the advice that I would have for men out there is, you don't need to think that this marriage thing is a must. To me, fully believe that
You are still stuck on marriage. We started with respect, power.
at the end of it all, it's going to take you to that direction of marriage. Because we're discussing power, we're discussing money, we're discussing all this. Men really work hard.
Then why don't you stay single and stay with the respect, power?
But are you seeing?
We did not talk about relationships.
Are you seeing anything here?
Eh,
Are you seeing anything here?
okay. No, these days we don't need those things.
Why?
You can get married and even not put it on.
No. The day that I will ever wed someone,
Eh,
this thing will be covered.
I know we are.
that day will come.
That day is going to come, you think? You advise our parents.
Like I've said, men are supposed to not feel like this thing is a must to go for. Yeah. If it's meant for you, please, you will even see it from the beginning that this thing is meant for me, and it will work for you. If it's not meant for you, just leave it. Men just have to discover other sources of happiness.
So, our dear viewers, we've talked about a man, we've talked about masculinity, what makes you a man, what is the root that drives the inner part of the man. We've come down to respect, money, and power, which have spread to relationships. Give us your views. What do you think can improve a man should we continue giving you money when you are not even coming for all over never complaining on social media? They send women money and then the women don't stand up. I don't know why.
Transport. Do you still send transport money up to now?
I do. I mean, I'm very old. I've never
Where are you dating a woman who can't afford
transport
to see you?
If then these ones who want to go to these very nice restaurants and then the men are paying, that's okay also. So if it's okay, why don't you also send them money? I'm just asking. I think it is our role and our duty to give these women whatever they want in conjunction on what we want.
As long as you are able to.
Yeah, if there's a woman who asked me sometime when I was still growing up that, Brian, you see, you want this, I want this. We are meeting up for it. I wanted to meet Christ. She was leading me to Christ. I don't know if you don't look like you on the same page. But thank you so much, our viewers. We're talking about men and we want to talk about women, the next topic, and we want women on our podcast. Like us, share, comment, ask questions, and we are here for you, the Solid Point. Thank you.